yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shady, my bros raw. No breaks, we go, 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 go. Throw shade, that's a no, 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 no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Catch money like 5.
Man, I'm out at the beach. I just drove or rode the motorcycle over to the beach. You guys see the R1 right there. This is a 2018 R1, Yamaha R1, 1000cc high performance modified racing bike. This design right here, this bike right here has been modified 100% to be on the track racing at top speeds. Now, I've always told you guys, man, riding motorcycles is one of the best things you can get into. It makes you feel masculine. You throw your leg over something and, you know, you ride safely as possible. And the real thing is you got to make sure you're protecting yourself from the dangers that may be of distracted drivers. Distracted drivers are a real thing, and you notice them a lot more when you're riding, and a lot of people are texting on their mobile phones, and they're not really paying attention to you. So I encourage people to get into riding, but do it when it's safe and it's a safe time in your life, when you understand the dangers and risks that you are taking getting on these bikes. So let's talk about the bike real quick. I bought this bike from another YouTuber. He goes by the name of The Thinking Man's Templar, TMT. I helped him out. He was looking to get rid of the motorcycle, and he lived about 30 miles away, and we had been touching base about potentially doing an interview, which we haven't done yet, but he was on his way to move to Brazil. All right, he was one of the brothers that are looking to make a better place in another land, and he was headed to Brazil, and he put this on Instagram, and he said, look, he said, I'm looking to sell this motorcycle. I said, look, I'm a buyer. And I bought it. I already had a motorcycle, but I bought it because I was looking to upgrade the bike that I had. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to help the brother out and get a motorcycle for myself in the process. So I'm enjoying this one. And it has certain things, man, that is a little bit quirky. It's not a regular riding bike. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even have a gas gauge because it's designed to be on the track. So you got to know how much gas you have in this damn thing. But let's go over a quick little specs, if you will. I don't know a lot about specs, but if you will, we'll go over them. There it is right there, the Yamaha R1, 1000cc motorbike. Again, when I bought it, it had all the modifications on it, so it was pretty much already modified when I got it, and I had to learn it. It's a little bit different. Like when you downshift, when you're coming to an intersection or something like that, or a light, you got to rev, you got to crank it just a little bit as you downshift. Now, my other bike is not like that, okay? So every now and then it will cut off as if it's protecting itself on the racetrack. It will cut off. And I have to figure out why it actually does that. I'm researching it. When I bought it from TMT himself, he told me about it. So I haven't had a chance to research it myself. But this is the bike. I mean, listen, they got a couple of modifications right here on the exhaust. And it says right there it's from Five Brothers Racing, the Black Series modification. So when this thing cranks up, it's loud as hell. All right, there's a little possibly a modification there, and he bought this bike off of someone else. So truth be told, I don't know if anybody really knows all the modifications. But anyway, man, get a chance to ride a motorcycle yourself. If I know all the modifications, I'll put them in the description box below and let you guys know what's particularly here on this bike. Oh, one more feature that I want to show you. Let's see if it'll light up. All right, I was going to show you another modification. This bike has lights. It's like a night rider. This bike has lights. If you turn them on, it should come on. But I'm just noticing right now, it's not happening. So, oh well. Maybe next time you guys will see it. It may, you know, for the most part, it's during the daylight anyway, so you might not be able to see the lights. But one of these days, I'll show you. But look, what we're going to do is we're going to ride PCH, and we're going to ride Newport Coast, and we're going to ride and take a good time, and then we're going to come back with the subject of this video. Let's go. beachfront property looks like. This is the beachfront property. Actually, I had a friend of mine who actually he repairs Porsches. He sets up Porsches to do racing. He used to live up here, and I spent the night at his house one time. Pause, sorry, by the way, but I spent the night at his time and got to see what it's like to live in a beachfront property. Also toured a couple of these when I was selling real estate. Most of the people who own these are vacation homes, man. That's another secret of wealth that we want to talk about. Many of the people who own these, they use them as vacation homes. Isn't that crazy? So let's get into the subject matter, man. Let these 304s be 304s. You can't stop them from being a 304 at this particular point. And a lot of us want to rescue these women, or you want to be mad at them for being 304s. Listen, there's a 304 economy out here. Right now, they are selling themselves like crazy all over the internet. And this is just basically the time that we live in. Now, we can be ones to save them or continue to criticize them, but they are providing a great service to this economy. They're preventing you from having to walk down the aisle for a hot piece of peace leave. They're preventing you from having to impregnate them and suffer at the hands of the child support courts. This is the time of the 304. All right, this is their hour. All right, it's at the end of it, it's not going to turn out very well for them. You know, at the end of it, they're going to have to figure out what to do when they can't sell that piping hot, fresh piece of peace leaf. So that's their problem. It's rarely going to be our problem. The people who seem to have a big problem with this are the traditionalists, people who want to get married and they want to have a family and they want to pass a legacy on, and they have to contend with the 304, and they have to have the 304 sell herself for so long and then provide you with the service of being a wife or an incubator to your legacy. And you want to be with these women, all right? You want to be with these women long term. You want to say, forget about your past. It doesn't matter. You're going to be the proper mother for me, and you're not going to throw me under the bus related to the family court, okay? The problem with the people who are in the age range between 21 and 28 is that most of them are going to have to deal with mostly women who are in Project 304. That's all you're going to have to deal with. You don't have many other options outside of that. That's the unfortunate scenario. You're going to deal with people that have been selling feet pictures on the internet. You're going to deal with people that have been on the carousel and getting their back blown out of Arizona State. You're going to deal with people who have been on seeking arrangements, all right? I've known women and men. I've known men to have dated women who simultaneously had seeking arrangement profiles. Not only that, I've heard women have seeking arrangement profiles and they were in the midst of a breakup and then they hop back on there and collect money from other men. Man, this is the economy that you're living in right now. So what I suggest is hold your anger, hold your judgment. These people are like burger flippers. We need them. These people are providing you with an opportunity to get what you need without marrying. This is a new time. Unfortunately for your sons, for your nephews, for your cousins, there are not going to be very many proper women that they can bring home and introduce to you and your parents, all right, or their parents. There's just not that many of them. Sure, there are, but this is when you got to get them to have the blue chip mentality, okay? Not the sacrifice and risk for these type of women. But those men, too, marry hookers. That's the secret of the blue chip mentality in the blue chip world, is they, too, marry women who are former strippers and escorts and Hooter waitresses. The future looks bleak in terms of standard relationships, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. You can do something out here, but the future is looking bleak. So anyway, man, I moved around quite a bit while feminist, but I thought I'd have some fun and give you something to think about, something to chew on, one to grow on, something to think about. I'm here to make you think, like my man Dane Calloway says. But let's get back on the motorcycle. We're going to ride back down to PCH, go back home, and get back to some work in here. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all get to work. Y'all stay motivated, stay hungry, live the free agent lifestyle. And the lifestyle has so many more benefits and rewards than anything else that you could do, man. Get out of that slave contract. Let's get motivated and control your own destiny, right? As much as you can. We out of here. Peace.